Hi guys, it is George Grunt from govt Club, and we will be talking today about actual things, deeds which you can do in order to confront feminism and this corrupt system, what you can actually do apart of philosophizing and complaining about the current state of affairs, what you can do with your own actions in order to remove the system, in order to establish your masculinity. I know that a lot of MGTOW channels are discussing this problem which we are having today, and many of them are complaining, and many of them are just describing what is the situation, but it is not enough. You need to have the clear action plan to confront the situation. You have to do something about it, not just to talk about it, right? So maybe there are some who bring action plan. I haven't seen yet. I browsed and watched many MGTOW channels and authors. I haven't seen somehow haven't happened to listen or seen anyone bringing some action plan. Maybe there are, and I just want to contribute my own part in that and acquaint you with some practical steps which we all can do in order to bring MGTOW ideas in this world, to remove this falsehood of the current system. Okay, so there are around 8 or 10 points which I will be sharing with you. You can note them down if you like or remember, but this is what I believe we should and can do at this stage, okay? So first of all, before I go, I just want to let you know, whoever doesn't know yet, that you cannot expect anything from females. Even maybe there are some female activists who are anti-feminism or something like that. Well, that's great if they are, but we should have this mindset that we have to do all things by ourselves, using our own hands, our own mind. We cannot expect any help, any assistance from anyone. It is your duty and my duty to fix things, okay? So let's not even waste our time on criticizing women right now. Let's just be favorable, treat them like kids, and don't engage into heated arguments with them. It is just a waste of time. Because by engaging with them in arguments, you showing that you are at the same level with them, and this is already defeating position for you, because you are not at the same level. It's the same like arguing with a little child. You see, you become stupid as a child. So be what you are and forget this nonsense. Don't waste your time. What you got to do is, first of all, to spread MGTOW mindset awareness by all means, 24/7, wherever you are. And by all means you can. It can be your speech, it can be your behavior, it can be your actions, whatever. Just turn into a walking MGTOW machine, okay? Just spread MGTOW awareness by whatever means you may have. All of us are individuals and unique, so all of us can develop our personal unique ways of sharing the masculine ideas in this world. Okay, so let's do this. I just give you this freedom, so to say, in improvising. How would you do that? The next thing is influence young boys, because this is the foundation of the future MGTOW, the future masculinity world, and young kids, this is the foundation for that. And if they are grown up without the supervision of the strong male, of course it is not surprising that they are growing up as wimps and emasculated men who are good for nothing. So our primary task is to influence young boys, young males, and we can do this again by different kind of means, through books, through videos, through personal interactions, of course, first and foremost. And it is good if we can find someone, maybe some sponsors, or do it ourselves to publish books like for all kind of ages, you know, from 5-7-year-old to 10 and 12-year-olds. Like they have these colorful Bible teaching books for kids. The same way we can do for kids, spreading MGTOW ideas, masculine ideas, with beautiful drawings there and large fonts, you know, and all these things. Whether it is a child in your family or your relatives or neighbors one, you just try your best to influence young boys, to talk to them. They are very receptive and they love when the adult male talks to them as to his peers. So you just have this attitude that when you communicate with a young boy, as if you talk with your peer, with the equal one. And when they feel this attitude that you treat them like equal, they become very receptive, and they will accept and absorb your MGTOW ideas like a sponge. If you manage to instill in them the right masculine ideas from the very young age, it will be very, very difficult for the system to remove those ideas from them later on, whether through school education or for whatever other means. It will be rooted, deep-rooted in them already. Okay, so let's do this. Next, we need to find key, influential, and wealthy people who favor MGTOW ideas and who are willing to contribute into spreading our movement, into sponsoring publications, even TV channels, and like colleges, schools for boys, where masculine values are taught, and so on. Imagine how huge impact it would bring on society if you had like a couple of MGTOW TV channels translating these ideas all over the, it could be everywhere, United States or Europe or everywhere, you see. The more the better. And if you have colleges for boys, like MGTOW college, imagine such miracle. That would be even the stronger impact on the current situation. And it is not impossible, because I'm sure there are many wealthy men who just had this experience of being robbed by their exes, by their wives, and of course they will be more than willing to contribute into MGTOW empowerment ideas and just spread these by all physical means. Next thing, which is important, is to realizing that this battle goes in minds. So you got to win the battle of minds first and foremost. If you won in your mind, you won everywhere. If they cannot affect you in your mind, they cannot affect you in physical level. Trust me. This is, you have example in the history of this world in front of your own eyes. Wherever there was a strong leader who had a strong mind and spread his ideas, no government, no one could do anything to him. Like one of the examples I was bringing is the Gandhi in India, because he was just kind of a spiritual man. And he was poor, but his mind was so strong that he managed to influence the thousands and millions of his compatriots. Eventually they won. You see, he created a huge movement, and he brought the tremendous changes in his country, inspiring so many millions of people with the ideas of freedom. So his mind was strong. That's why they couldn't get him, because they couldn't penetrate through the invisible wall of the mind. When he didn't have the fear of them in his mind, they could not touch his body as well. So this is imperative. You got to win the battle in your mind. Next, we need to find vulnerable gaps in the current state system and hit there. There are such gaps. I always bring this analogy of the viruses that break through the computer system of the enemy. So you need to become this kind of coder, a programmer who is looking for such vulnerable gaps in the computer system of the current state and the government, and just hits those weak points. And if you look for such points, you will find them. And you need to create the special viruses, which are ideological information viruses, so I'd say, and just let them in to break through the system. It's interesting that because we are now using analogy, but we are living in the world of humans. The women, females, can become such a gateway through which you can penetrate the current state system. So if you find the key to the women's psyche, because again it's a battle of minds, right? So if you can manage to find the key to the female mind in such a way that you use her as a gateway into the current system, to affect the system, and to place your virus, your bug, through the woman into the system, she can become very effective tool. Because as your enemies, the government, used the females in order to subdue you and enslave you, likewise you can also now use the same tool, the females, in order to strike back. Because women are extremely perceptive, vulnerable substance with which you can do anything you like, and they will take a shape and form of anything you would make of them. So because government and a bunch of lunatics and evil people took initiative, and while the rest of the honest, simple people were just doing their job and working and building their life, they get hold of the women, and they poison their minds to persuade them with this silly ideas of equality and women's voting and stuff. So they managed to break through their mind system, and it was quite easy for them to do. So it is quite easy to do the opposite of it as well. Because again, woman is very perceptive, and she doesn't have a strong logical core in her. She just lives by emotions only. So it is very easy to manipulate someone who only or mainly is led by emotions. It is very easy to do that. You just didn't do that before. You were expecting a logic from woman, and that's why you got upset, because you were expecting a logic and rationality from someone who is absolutely biologically incapable to such rationality. That's why you've been defeated so far. It is different field of battle, totally different field. And since the woman is absolutely irrational being, emotional being, you have to use the irrational and emotional gears in order to break through her into the system. And then consciously she will become your ally in that one. And I will tell you later how to do this. There is another key to find access to the female mind. So this kind of key is, one of such keys is kids, children. This is the key through which you can access the woman's mind and inspire her with your ideas and make her believe you and become your ally in fighting against the government system. So what I mean by that is because the maternity instinct of a woman is always there, or most of the time there. It is possible to use her maternity instincts, her mother's instincts, in order to influence her by or through her kids, to explain her how her children are being harmed by the current system. If you manage to convey to her this idea that government is actually harming her children, it is quite easy to prove, actually, right? When you see how government education system and medicine and everything is harming actually the young generation and make them weak and sick and vulnerable. It is quite easy to show a person, to prove to them that it is so. And once a woman realizes that her children are being harmed, she in most cases will become furious, and she may become your ally in fighting against this system. It may not necessarily happen instantly and overnight, but this is one of the right ways to do that, and you can find a lot of ways. But this is one of the strong and powerful ways in doing that and in breaking through the defense system of the governmental mafia, so to say. The next one is the creating and promoting MGTOW websites and blogs as one of the powerful tools of our male propaganda, because only YouTube is not enough. There are a few Facebook channels, it's not enough. Of course, having a TV channel, some publications and conference halls and international conventions would be even greater. But having the MGTOW websites and blogs with solid content would be, of course, very, very beneficial. And lastly, I just would like to mention that you need to invest in yourself and your personal business success first and foremost, before you invest in anything else. So your money, your physical strength, your time. First of all, you got to put a strong foundation of your own personal success, and once you become strong, you get more capability of doing greater things. So if you have $100, think first how to invest this $100 into something that makes you even stronger and more successful person. Instead of thinking about how to spend them, just think how to turn this $100 into something which makes your life more successful. You see, when you have this kind of mindset and attitude, you will become extremely efficient, and all other steps which we've been discussing here will be done much more efficiently by you. Alright, this was all for this video, and please share your thoughts and your ideas. If you think I've missed something, you're most welcome to add your ideas. On that, I hope you have a great day. It was George Grant from Caucasus Club. Please share, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.